Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Gus. This is another episode of Mic'd Up with Gus. Another interview is about to go down with the one, the only, the man from Inglewood, California, the urban juggernaut. I like that name, by the way, the urban juggernaut.
So you might as well say it. The guy who gave me the name was you, Gus Parsons.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Sean Black. Go
I,
ahead.
I was using my government name, and then I started tagging with Sam Knight, and then so I was like, freaking, you ready for this? Freaking K-Ross.
We're just gonna jump right into this.
He put us together. I give him this, but he put us together, and he gave us all these crazy names and like wild names, like Hawthorne Heat, because Hawthorne from LA, okay. Bread and Butter, the Ghetto Connection. You know how promoters, when they see two big black guys, I'm like, nah, we ain't going for it. Well, me and him came up with like, let's do like mean, big, but still strong for the community. And I was like, you're already Sam Knight. At the time I'm using my government name, I was like, I'm Sean. I was like, look, Black Knight. Let's be the Black Knights. And boy, that was a run. If you were around, that was
yeah, I remember all that. You guys just never worked together at FCW, unfortunately.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, weird timing.
Weird timing.
And then rest in peace to Pops took off. And when Pops took off, Sam was like, I'm gonna move to the West to start over.
All right.
But it left me like because people knew us together.
Right.
But Sam was already more established. So left me kind of like looking around.
Like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Big shout out to Trigger and Lucha Pro, because there was a point like that's all I was working. And Battleground Pro.
Where did you? Okay, so let's rewind for a second though, real quick. Okay. Where did Sean? Okay, Sean Black obviously loves wrestling. Okay, because nobody just wakes up one day and be like, "Hey man, I'm gonna be a motherfucking pro wrestler." You had to watch it as a kid at some point in time. I'm pretty sure you collected a toy or two here and there. You probably went to a live event before you became a pro wrestler. Were you a wrestling fan as a kid?
Now, this is the thing. I was just a freaking action fan. Action movies, stunts, karate. This is I was born 84, 88. Steven Seagal, Ninja Turtles. I got in trouble in school. Ask my mom, I was almost banned from preschool for fighting. For doing but reenacting like shit.
Got you.
Yeah, not like actual bust you up, but just like stop that, Sean. I would do things. I remember Spats at preschool. Teachers was annoyed. I was a talker. I was just fun, but I remember everybody get mad. Everybody look at Sean like he's doing something. I look around. I start little baby riots, bro. Yeah, on my mom. She in there right there. Yeah, so.
Yeah, he on there starting this shit, acting like he was Indiana Jones and shit, whipping and shit. Yeah,
I was a climber. I was a whipper. Actually, like I said, I am not lying about none of that.
Wait a minute. Wait, what year were you born?
84.
You're that old, bro?
Yeah, I'm 39. I'm be 40 this summer.
Oh shit, oh man, no way. You're about to be 40 years old?
It's funny because me in this health journey, people were like, "You look younger than you did in your 30s."
For real, bro. Like, what, you got the Benjamin Button effect going on, bro? Like, no, I honestly, you know what? I never really thought about it until like maybe a couple years back. I'm like, how long have I really known Sean? Since he was like, what, maybe 19, 20? So he's got to be like 27, 28 right now. Bro, you're 40 years old?
Yes. I started the game. I started training at 24 in 2009.
Where'd you start training at?
Santino Brothers.
Oh, OG.
I'm an OG backyard, cold night, cold Saturday morning. Yeah, I'm one of them. I came right after the bracket of I was the next bracket. The famous B, Rico, Ray, Lucha Machine, Oso Loco.
Shit.
It was like that class.
That was your class?
No. And I came right after them. And then was just, remember, the school was smaller. It's way different than what it was.
Right.
But me and Chaz started a week or two from each other. Chaz Herrera.
Yeah. Uncle Chaz.
Yeah, he was Wolf. He had a different caveman. That's what you call him.
Shit, you just go back to that shit.
Yeah, and we used to call him Caveman or Uncle Jesse because he looked like he had a.
Who else was in that class with you?
I would say it was like slow at the time. It wasn't the
Oh, okay.
enrollment rates. People would come in because the OG Santinos, like they would really whoop your ass and try to scare you off, like on some like G shit.
Right.
And it was a school not to be fucked with. And it's funny because I've always had this thing in life to where I'm I was bullied on and off, but I was the type that I didn't when it comes to peer pressure. I wouldn't. I would cave in. So I'm gonna tell you what happened. So one day I go to SummerSlam, and at this time, I was, I don't think I was gonna do the college football thing. It was just one of those limbo things.
Right.
And I had more size on me, and people was like, so I would go to events. And people were like, "Do you wrestle?" I was like, "Nah," and I know where to start. Because at the time, the first time I tried to go to Wrestling Academy was all I knew outside. Now remember, this is 2002 internet. All I knew was XPW school. Yeah, XPW school and the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy. And I was thinking, like, how am I going to get out there? I'm 17, 18. And then XPW had got all that trouble by the time I was looking into it. You remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was going to go to that school. So then my wrestling dreams just stopped. And then it started came back and around again because I was, I didn't know where I was going in life, this and that. And I was originally going to go to US, try to get an MMA. But one guy from my neighborhood, he had hands. And when he got into it, we all watched it. It was like, yeah. It's called, I think King of Cage or one of them. But he joined it. We were like, yeah, we cheered. Man, it was him versus, he went hood. I'm not hood, but we'll talk about it later. But he's one of them hood, like he used to beat everybody up, knock niggas out, pop, one of them. He must have said, ding, ding, ding. This white boy must have fucked him up in about 30 seconds. I was like,
I'm done. And good. I'm good.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I thought, wrap up, but it was
right.
He was asleep. He was on that. Like, and it's weird seeing somebody kick somebody's ass your whole life.
Right.
And to see him finally get like.
And then Chad comes along and says, hey, bro.
You're
like, oh, fuck, man. Chad fucked them up.
Yeah. But
so that was into your MMA career?
Yeah. So then I went to SummerSlam. Remember SummerSlam used to come to LA?
Oh, yeah.
I went to WWE Access and I met MVP. And I was telling him, I'm thinking about doing this and that. He said, your clock is ticking. You better hurry up. He said, how old are you? I was 24. He's like, yeah, you got to start. And talk about life years later. So I'm in line and these brothers come up to me with flyers. And I was like, oh, fuck, indie wrestling, finally. And so it was for Mach 1. And at the time, they let you come in and flyer. WWE was letting. And the dude gave me the flyer. I was like, y'all wrestle? And then I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm trying to get into it. I remember the dude being dark-skinned and hairy. Didn't think nothing of it. And years later, when I finally met him, like, you that dude who gave me the flyer, and we're teaming up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Sam Knight gave me a flyer. But watch this. And then outside, some guys, I saw these shirt with some eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, they gave me a flyer. And look, it was like, I saw Supreme Chaos said, join our wrestling school. I said, hell no, I'm not going there. Y'all trainers? I'm automatically thinking like barbed wire and they're going to be fucking me up. And
Right. Because they were XPW tough at the time, right?
Yeah. So watch this. This is how life works. So at the time I'm in college, I'm working lifeguard at Southwest. So I'm in college, and there was a dude in my class who always wear wrestling shirts. And then I was like, oh, this guy wear wrestling shirts. But I was in class at the time. And then one day I was in the lobby, I saw him with another wrestling shirt. I was like, who's this guy? So then I go to WWE events, and then I went to and then we're walking, we passed each other, and I nodded. I said, oh, I know you, yeah. So then I worked in the athletic department. I was a lifeguard. So this dude's at the table with a laptop. I said, bro, I'm always seeing you with wrestling shirts. I was like, hey man, I want to get involved. Like you a fan? Is that? He's like, y'all know who this is? Now I'll wrestle, nigga. I was like, what's your name? He was like, my name Willie. This that. I was like, Oh, okay. So then he pulls out the laptop and he's showing me um videos. It was the Negro Division something. Him, Eric Watts, and LTP.
Yeah. Oh
They,
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
the Negro something.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh snap! He showed me all the clips and everything. So I'm thinking about wrestling. I don't have too much money. I'm the type, like I say, I mean, I'm just a student worker. I'll do what I can. So
Right.
he said, call this number. Called the number. I set it up. There's a lady on the phone. And she was telling me the time, this and that, come by for orientation. And so I get there and I was like, yeah. So I'm hyped, dressed kind of nice. I get there and
He said interview.
yeah. And I opened the gate and it was Chaos Supreme. I said, this that fucking school, bro.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah. But I didn't want to be no bitch. So
Right.
I was marking out and I'm like, oh man, I grew up on y'all. First I was like, oh snap, and then I see Angel, all those guys. I see everybody I literally used to watch, fuck with the antenna to watch, back then,
Oh
late at
shit.
night, stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning. What's the name? Fall off a building. And everybody's back there. And I'm in the first night, I didn't get paid because I was like a young college student. So they thought I was gonna bail on them, but then I came on a Sunday. And they chopped me, and then like I said, those first couple months, they beat the dog shit out of me, bro. But it was funny because it was ass whoopings first, then learn. Psych. But I used to be like, damn. And then I used to get mad because Lucha Machine was skinnier than me. And he used to like, fuck. And I was like, but I didn't know enough yet. And I'd be like,
Oh yeah.
and I didn't like him. I was like, this little dude's always chopping and they let this. And then one time, because I was always Wednesdays the way my work schedule was, and everybody's be Saturdays, but I was mainly Wednesdays.
Right.
And one time Chaos was like, well, just show me the things you got, like, and Chaos is talking to me all nice, this and that before training. Next thing he started beating the dog. And I was like, yo, does he not like me?
In training, he was doing that.
Yeah. He put me in the thing, didn't tell me. What's that move? It stumped my head. Boom.
Oh shit! Like a curb stomp?
Huh?
Like a curb stomp?
It's a stretch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the wrestler's gonna get on my case for not knowing, but I haven't heard fellas in a minute. But he pulled me up. I was like, ground. But I would take it. I'll be mad, but I'll take it because
I heard you get stretched a lot in Santino Brothers, though. There's a lot of stretching going on over there. But that's old school training though. That's like, are you gonna stay with us? You know what I mean? Like straight up, because you go to Japan, they're gonna stretch you in the match. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And then I'm such a friendly person. I noticed that they didn't get too close to me because they didn't, there was like a test. So I'm coming in, hey everybody, hey, and Ray would talk to me. What's up, y'all? And Ray wouldn't talk to me too much, and like everybody was like, "What's up?" Like except for Sil and Chaos, but the students wouldn't. But then little by little,
right.
But then they said the one day they said it was from back when they was just starting shows, and it was like Supreme didn't come during football season. Rest in peace, Supreme, such a dope dude. But they all told me it was like this weekend because it was show weekend. No, it was pre-show. It was like we used to, everybody get their matches.
Right.
Then we want to go out to the flyer.
Okay.
We were gonna do training and then go out flyering, and they were like, "Supreme's coming." So you guys all knew, get ready for them clotheslines because he's gonna clothesline the shit out of like all the rookies. And there was some other people I met that Saturday, who have been training. But bro,
he said, "Bro,"
it was just funny because I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just knock this out," because I'm thinking it's like, oh, super hard, yeah, I'm rolling out the ring.
Nah.
Let me tell you, bro.
Nah.
He was cool. Like he was so cool in training. And then he said, but then all of a sudden he goes, everybody, get the fuck up. Everybody, get the fuck up. And he like, clothesline toss. Everybody jumps up on the apron. Come on, motherfucker! Like his whole snap. He was yeah. He's like, come on.
Snap.
So I was like, okay, this the moment. This the moment. And then one of the rookies ducked, like he did this. He did like this. And then Serene picked him up. He said, hey, gave it to him. And then so I was like, wait, what's wrong with the light? Oh, there we go. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Balls out. I said, ah. So I think the way it was like everything was slow motion. Right. I think the way I charged at him, like, you know,
I'm just gonna take this.
Yeah. It was like slow motion. The Supreme from my childhood, everything was like, I think it's mine. Oh, you want this mother? Bro, this? I saw a flash of light. Boom. And I remember I was like, what the fuck? I just did like that. I think because I ran too fast and I saw Sylvia like, and they were like, I saw people's eyes like, so then.
Like he about to die right now.
Well, you know, I took that hit, but I didn't feel anything, but I saw white and I just came on. Oh, next, you know, my nose just said blood everywhere. So then I powdered out and I tried to wipe some, and then I got up and Lucha Machine was like, yeah, don't bring that in the ring. Don't bring it because you're bleeding too much. And then after I was like, oh shit. And I looked and I saw this was twisted a little bit. So I think that was my first septum. So I got back up and they were like, nah. And then class ended. And then everybody chilled for a second. I had to mellow out. But then we went flyering. And then once I started driving home, it's funny, I started feeling the pain. But I was kind of like a badge of honor. Like I got my nose hit by Supreme. And after that training, I noticed that they stopped like laying it in. But then I found out later that they wanted, like, after they heard, after everybody saw that, it was like, now we're gonna see like if he comes back. And I came back. And after that, they no more like beating that, you know.
Right. Let's train this man now.
I gained some respect.
When was your first match with? Was your first match with Santino Brothers School?
My first match was with a brother company to them called Legion Championship Wrestling out of East LA. It was an LCW.
Oh, okay. Who was your first match?
Me and Mikey O'Shea, who I borrowed his gear because I didn't have gear yet, versus Damian Arsenic and Robbie Phoenix.
Oh shit!
They whooped the dog shit out of me, both of them.
Did they?
Yeah. But I was so happy. Like I got a really that company at the time wanted stiffer matches.
Gotcha.
And so I caught a really stick. And once again, I just didn't want to be a bitch. Because you know, you wrestling business, you hear guys, you hit me too hard. Oh. Now I have told people like easy, slow, yeah, but
right.
But
you know, there's potato sacks out there.
Yeah. You're gonna take shots in wrestling, bro. You can't. Yeah, but yeah. And that was a dope experience. I had some friends and family there, and I guess to see me finally doing it, people were like, "He's really doing it," like, you know.
How long ago was that? How long ago was your first? What year was your first match?
2010. It was between, I think, November.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you've been doing this a minute here, huh?
Yeah, man. Ups, downs, lefts, rights, and I guess the good stories, bad stories along the way. Yeah.
What were some of the earlier promotions that you worked for after that?
Big shout out to Battleground Pro, Lucha Pro, My Lucha TV.
You were part of that My Lucha TV shit too, huh? Fuck K-Ross, bro.
I gotta give it to him, but looking back, the only credit I will give is he did give me my first couple matches. The bad thing he officially taught me that you can't take advantage of people when it comes to bread, you know. And me, just the person I am not a thousandaire. I'm keeping my head above water, but I don't run a wrestling show until the budget is full and fulfilled. Running off the door and things like that is that dude taught me everything on what not to do. But he gave us opportunities, and he didn't pay me till about I'll say 6, 7 shows in. I did the first couple for free,
Damn.
just because I was getting on, but I didn't know no better. I was just trying to get on.
Right, right, right.
And Willie Mack was the time. At the time, Lucha Bro had names, bro. A lot of our early names went. Willie Mack was wrestling there. Peter Avalon, Eric Watts. You know,
Did you work any of those guys over there?
by the time I got there, they were kind of transitioning out because their careers started. But I did I did wrestle a lot of a few well known like the Blood Eagles, really really good luchas, and uh we sort of started. Yeah, we were there as all those guys were transitioning out. Now Battleground was a melting. Battleground was hot at one point, and that's where, like I said, you look around the locker room, to be young and see Joey Ryan, Scorpio Sky, Nick Madrid, who's hot at championship at the time. That was one of my first.
He said Nick Madrid.
Remember that? Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rico Dynamite, Tito, young Tito. I know y'all, but just through history, so many championship guys from championship, the guys who in Mach 1 and things like that. So to be in that locker room, coming from just being a fan, because my first, like I said, I know I got off track. Wrestling was sporadic, but had I been known what time it came on, I would have been. But my cousin, big shout out, 1993, 4, he put me on to consistent watching wrestling.
Okay,
because he knew where the times were, and then he taught me what times it was on, and then
he's like,
yeah.
Gotta watch this shit.
Yeah, and then because it was sporadic, it was always like I would catch it when I would catch it, but I knew who everybody was, Jake and Ultimate Warrior, Hulk, yeah. But then I started watching consistently, and then I stumbled on accident because my grandfather used to watch a lot of TBS and TNT. I stumbled on Clash of the Champions. So I was like, wait a minute, who are these guys?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then from there, it was over. It was wrestling all the time, bro.
Damn.
I caught the bug. They said I caught the bug. It's funny. They said I caught the bug in one of the worst WWE areas, the new generation. But I was having fun watching it.
Who was your first favorite wrestlers then?
Well, as far as like mainstream, just as a kid, it was always like Hogan and Warrior.
Okay.
But when I first took it serious, Brett and
it's not racist if it's true. So your favorite wrestlers were Hogan and Warrior. Mine was Coco Beware and Junkyard Dog.
Yeah. They would have been if I'd have been more consistent, because I would see the cartoon and I would see some, but my dad I'll be watching something, but if I'd have been more consistent, I would have saw them. But those are people who I love with the internet and time,
Yeah.
But my cousin, he was so dope. He filled me in on who is who, and so I got an extra star. Like he'd say, "There's a guy, he's Jeff Jarrett." He says JEF AA. No, he would do that, and then he was like, "Man, rest in peace." Even though I met him, I love him. He was like, "Man, there's a dude. He gets beat like every week, but he's funny. His name is Virgil." He's like, but when I look back, I was like, wait a minute, he used to be with $1 Million Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brett, Sean, the new generation, Sid, and then my first black wrestler, it was Ahmed Johnson. I've talked about this plenty of times.
Oh, bro, hell yeah. My dad. If people don't know, my dad's black, and a lot of people are like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, he's darker than fucking midnight, bro. When he first saw Ahmed Johnson, he was like, that's my guy. Yeah, I like that guy. Yeah, big as fuck. I'm like, yeah, he's big as fuck, dude.
Yeah. And the theme song, doom, 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 doom. He's that look with the big loop earrings. That's one of the reasons I wear them.
Titties all out and shit. He had them big old titties out too.
Man, he's wearing them Daisy Dukes too. Like, bro, what you doing? those motorcycle pictures.
Oh yeah, what happened? Like, did he ended up just like jobbing out towards the end of his career? Because I really don't remember
They
what
said he
happened
had
to
some
him.
family issues he wanted to attend, and him and
Oh,
Vince used to
okay,
get into it. And
gotcha.
so he's on my he's on my. I want to meet him. You know, he's on my Facebook. But big shout out, like I said, and it was off to the races from then, and then to top it off. I tell people this all the story all the time. So I only thought there was two wrestling federations ever. So then one day I was in Mississippi, my family from there, and it said the best of Jerry Lawler wrestling. By that time, he was barely wrestling.
Oh shit.
So I looked at a video. I was looking at videos, and I was like, Jerry Lawler wrestling, like on
Mm-hmm.
WWE. And I looked, and I was like, these places don't look like WWF. You know, I'm a kid.
Right.
I saw one time it was outdoor. It was a pickup truck in the background. I was like, what's this? And then I went to Mississippi one night, and it said coming up tonight, 8 something is Deep South Wrestling. I was like, what in the world?
Oh,
So
Sean
I was
Black
like,
was educated early
yeah.
on.
So I was like, what in the world is this? And once again, I saw Jerry Lawler doing commentary. I'm like, how you just on TV this morning? Like, you know, I didn't even,
Right. You
so
flying back and forth.
yeah, so then I'll never forget when I got back from that time, I was looking through magazines and I saw Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Of
Okay.
course, I asked my dad, hey, can I have it? And magazines like so I started reading, and I was like, what's an ECW? What's a USWA? Who's Chris? Then I started looking at pictures. Who's Chris Benoit? I was like, who's Bill Dundee? Who's
Wow.
Mountain? So I'm like, wait a minute, there's more companies in WWE. Remember, we didn't have that access back then.
Right.
For sure, LA. I heard LA would show independence every now and then, but
Not
all I
like
ever
that.
knew was all I ever. Matter of fact, the first wrestling I ever saw, I think, was Glow on Channel 13.
Oh shit.
Before I saw regular Hogan,
Oh
I
yeah.
remember waking up. Like I said, it was weird because I think the late '80s, '90s was such a fun time, bro. What happened is then wrestling, like I said, you had so many things that bounced off. But I could understand, but I could see it, like Morton Downey Jr., Wally George, Wally George,
Oh
Channel
yeah.
56, and he would have women's wrestlers like my grandfather. My grandfather he watched the horse races on Channel 56.
Okay.
You'd always see like wrestlers come on there, and you like, oh snap, and then you would see Hulk Hogan on movies, and it was just such a time. But that all was such a great time period of wrestling. The late '80s, the '80s, the rock and wrestling era. The ruthless aggression and the attitude. But I know the wrestling wasn't as strong as it was,
See,
but
I'm gonna elaborate on that part too because I like the late '80s and early '90s wrestling for the Survivor Series because those Survivor Series in the early '90s and late '80s, like they meant something to us because there wasn't the social media and all this shit. So when you would see these dudes team up, it like meant something. Like the Attitude Era Survivor Series wasn't the early '90s like Survivor
the
Series.
early '90s ones were
It
dope,
wa-
bro.
bro, and like I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, I've been watching Survivor Series matches lately, like the old ones, like the early '90s, late '80s, like when they first started, and you started seeing the mixes together. You're like, oh shit, like these dudes are
Yeah,
gonna work together, and you know what I mean. So I get what you're saying, man. That was the fun. Like those are some of the things I was trying to do with like FCW, and I know that's what they're doing with like ORC and shit, like just that old school vibey shit. You know what I mean?
yeah. And on a sidebar, man, like I know, like, a lot of people don't know, but there was times when I guess I was associated with you, and you was like, oh, you Gus, and me personally, I tell people like people like Gus did this, and the third. I would tell people, look, he ain't never done it to me. I've been paid well. I've been, I mean,
Hey man,
everybody's
some
everybody's experience is going to be different with people. But
one
I'm
hundred
not, I
percent.
was never, I've never been a bandwagon type. Like everybody jump on it. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know what? You know what's funny about that is I mentioned that like almost 2 years ago when we were doing the Blue Gum show, and I think it was me and Charles, and he was just like, because he Charles is one of those dudes like, why do we fuck with these individuals? Meaning like they're part of our business. Why? Why are they part of our business? What makes Sean Black, and why are we bringing him out? And I remember telling him like, bro, because he was just never that one of those guys that just like he not to me or anything, but he never jumped on no bandwagons. He never like clicked up with anybody really. I mean, yeah, he knows people. Yeah, he's friends with people. You could associate him with people, but I got to know you a little bit, and I was like, yeah, he didn't click up like that. He just, just kind of kept it like whatever. And it's like I remember when all that shit came out, and you were just like, for real? And I'm like, come on, man. You're like, okay, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of
Hey,
haters. There's a lot of haters out there, man.
somebody said, "Why did you bring Sean Black out?"
I there's man. I remember the first time I tried to book you, bro, and I won't mention Benny's name, but Benny was like, "Oh, why are you gonna bring this dude out?" And I'm like, "Cause I'm just trying to bring out different people and shit." He's like, "Oh, you do better than that." I'm like, "The fuck, man." That's what. That's why I remember the first time we worked together was like the Blue Gum, right?
Yeah,
Wow. Out of all those fucking years, I was like, wait, you never worked FCW? I remember asking him, like, you never worked FCW? Like, no. I'm like, oh shit, my
I think I did
bad.
it earlier. Oh, I did Sam's one.
That was mine too.
Yeah.
We own PWM together. Pro Wrestling Massive? Yeah, we own that one together.
Let me tell you something, bro. There was a It's funny. Like I said, shout out to Benny. I mean, I heard you hear things, and
Right.
um, I understand that. I think every pro wrestler has grows at different points. There's people that there was a point, and I started out, but then it was weird. Me, him, and Jarrell had a really good match. It's online. Um, and I know that when certain groups get together, it's everybody gonna be everybody's type of wrestler.
Right.
And it's certain crowds, and when people get to certain crowds and things, I give it to them. I tell everybody right now, I am not a technical wrestling hold to hold mastermind. What I do specialize is you see it and most everybody see it. I'm just a crowd rocker, man. I'm just straight 80s wrestling style. I know ring awareness, sight. I topped the Santinos. I went to the Ballards. Um, I can put on a show.
Right.
Yeah, and me being a street dancer too. I'll be I get the crowd rocking.
Yep.
Um, so I understand. You know that some people will feel some type of way about you. But at the same time, my nigga, I was getting money. I was wrestling everywhere. People was on a campaign talking about, oh, you can do better. Listen, man. We're going to talk about this in a second. People on a group that I fell off at one point. I gained a lot of weight. I was going through some things. But that's another thing. You don't know what somebody going through before you
Right.
get in those group lynch mobs.
That's the problem with wrestling is like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah.
base everything off of what the fuck. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. There's SoCal mobs and then there's lynch mobs, and that's another story. Ahem, ahem, ahem. Yeah, that's part of it too. But anyway, anyway, so there's like I said, one of my worst matches was at D6 with this guy. What's his name? Soldier something. It was something, but it wasn't his fault. I mean, granted, he was a little, but I was out of shape as hell. I think it was pre-pandemic. Choking, gagging to breathe.
You were?
Yeah. And I barely made it, just sloppy. And after when I finally saw that match, I cried, bro. I was like, man, what come from what I used to be? This from looking at old Santino footage, just being jacked, and to this sluggish, you know, but then I didn't know I had sleep apnea. So I had crazy sleep apnea, and my adenoids were swollen. So if you look at old video, obviously, if you look at a ton of old footage of me, my face, my cheeks are round, black, right here, black behind the neck, black. My circulation wasn't good.
Oh
So
shit.
I would have that, people laugh at Biggie. Like I would breathe, snore. People like, you sleep? I was like, no, but I was strong. So a lot of that was going down. And then I was trying to keep up to a lot of peer pressure, I was a Santino. You hear things, like I said, not, you could be better than this. Not for my trainers or anything, but sometimes, even at every college, even at every school, sometimes cliques can
Right.
form.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Yeah. So I was down because I had a good match, but and they would tell you this, you should be. And I started letting wrestling. I did the one thing that I said I would not do. I let wrestling take over me. And me personally, I've always wrestling been my thing, but I've always had a life outside. I'm also a club promoter. I DJ a little bit. I used to make beats. Um,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah. I mean, I told you I used to dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot, yeah. And so once I started losing some of those things and letting wrestling consume me, I wasn't popping my peers. I was doing everything to get my peers' approval. And I'm gonna tell everybody listening, man, that don't work in the long run. Because
Not at all.
even if I was doing good things, and it's out of love. There's only one person that I have a gripe for. We're gonna talk about that, but it's all love. But that kicking people while they're down don't work at all. It doesn't. It just makes things worse. So then, I just stopped caring, and then wrestling was just messy. Big shout out to whoever created group chats. Those are messy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it really, really hurt. Like I said, it really, really hurt seeing, because there was a couple of group chats going on. And I'm the positive one. Like, I would see people getting dogged out, like bad, bad. And I'll be like, hey, well, this person, they're like, nah, fuck that. Listen to us.
Right. Right.
And then I ended up getting kicked out of one of the group chats. And then, with group chats, there's always a mole. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most perfect. I mean, I'm very happy-go-lucky. We ain't all got to be kumbaya friends, but I get really happy. I've always been such a supporter to other wrestlers. Yay, 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 and I'm up here hyping people up. And thank God for the moles. And when you talk real dirty about a person, most people are like, okay, let's stop. Like, no matter what you feel, like, if you cool with them, you be like, wait,
Right. Right.
let's try to change the subject, whatever. But it's bad when here I am upping people and I'm tweeting like, this person is such a great wrestler. He's like a mentor, this and that. And people hit me up like, Sean, look, I'll tell you, this nigga talk about you bad, bro. I'm like, what would I do? And he was like, yeah, he said, and they people show me messages and things. And I'm like, these are people, damn, like, I looked up to you. I thought we ain't gotta be friend kumbaya, but
damn.
when I see you, at least I'm happy. Hey, bro, and I'm looking and then it's like these people dogging me out.
I've
And
I've had my experience of that.
yeah, and what's even worse is when AMP started, some people were paid their rate, and this just shows a piece of shit. Well, give me my money back.
Hey, you had workers on your show that you paid talk about your shit?
Yeah, I saw. Oh yeah. People, you see, toxicity is toxicity word. Toxic. On the long run, people not gonna like it, bro. Especially when you're doing nice things for a person. They try to start. I'm gonna tell you, they try to start a thing on AMP. People want to say we want amped up, don't pay enough. I say this was somebody planning that shit. They're lie because I made sure everybody's paid, but I've literally paid people from their rate and let them pick their opponent, and I got dogged. Like the show, and I got catering. I got. I mean, every show. I mean, wrestling is
Oh,
up
you
to me.
got catering? Oh, bro, I want to announce them shows, bro. I need to announce them shits.
Yeah, yeah. There's times people didn't post the flyer, and
Right.
you just like, damn. It's like you're going out of your way, but it just goes to show you that in this business, it's still like it's business. I got real homies, a real friend, yeah, and I consider you a friend. And
Appreciate that.
I like I said, even when you're not tight, like I really push because there's people that I just didn't realize they're absolutely great wrestlers, but they just trash human beings. Yeah.
It happens a lot, man. That
Mhm.
that that happens a lot, bro. And like the fucked up part about it is like when you have a wrestler who's so skilled and so just good at the business, and then there's such a shitty human being. It's like, bro, like, do you know if you were just a decent human being, how far you could take yourself and the people around you? But being a shitty person and teaming up with a group of shitty people, it's just like, what are you fucking doing, man? Like, you're just wasting skill and talent on drama because now people ain't trying to fuck with you. And that's the problem. And that's a lot of the problem. You know what I mean?
And if you go around doing dirty, treating people like trash and doing all that sneaky stuff, do you think it's not gonna come up? Because Me Too showed a whole bunch of motherfuckers they ass. And people were like, "Oh, but you know what's fucked up is I've heard this. I heard people say this. We don't like Sean Black. Some of the people you associate with, nigga. Most of the people I associate with, y'all mad because they bad wrestlers. Me Too, yo homies. Cheers.
Sean,
Don't
what kind of do you
don't
do you have any heat down there in SoCal?
no. No, with growth and things, there were times I'll get a little faded and get pissed because I would hear, like, I'm the type. If you trust me to say, Sean, I'm gonna tell you this, but you got to keep it to yourself. I'm that guy. The problem is, you know, I have ADHD. Sometimes you get a little tipsy. You start thinking of it, and it's stuff you keep holding, but the Twitter. So I would do like subliminal tweets of who I was mad at, and just things that I'll go off on Facebook because you just in
I
your
get it.
feelings.
Hey, man, I get it, dude. Like knowing, and this is not a disrespectful thing at all, but knowing your age now, I know what error you come from, and I know what kind of like bigger homies we had around us and shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes we weren't allowed to express ourselves in certain ways. We couldn't just be like, "Hey, Big Ron, let me talk to you for a minute," because Big Ron would be like, "Shut your ass up, bro."
Mm-hmm.
When social media came out and the older generation realized, you know what, man, like we kind of have an outlet to speak now, and a lot of that times that got us in trouble, but it also allowed to get some shit off our chest. And I get where you're coming from because it's like, man, like if you really wanted me to say something, I'd say it to your fucking face. But since I can't, you know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. Because like deep down, I know you're a type of dude. It's like, hey, bro, like if you have a real issue with somebody, I think you would address it with them in person. You know what I mean? But sometimes, bro, we do like sometimes so much toxic shit happens to real people because, like you said, you have something outside of this, outside of wrestling. I do too. I have a ton of shit outside of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see a bunch of fake shit or a fake shit in like a fake world, meaning, how do I say this? Wrestling wrestling characters are all built off of like gimmicks and shit. And then when these people take these gimmicks and they're a shitty person and they use those gimmicks in the real world, you're just like, come on now. Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop it.
Yeah, and I never, like I said, I've won fights, I've lost fights. I was never a tough guy. I was a nerd, one of the nerds of the hood. But
You was John Singleton? You was the John Singleton of Inglewood?
sort of. No, I was like the dude dope with the high tie. I used to have comic books. Yeah, I used to have comic books. Like the one time I got banged on is one of the first times the Bloods I was walking, and they surrounded us, and they took my backpack open, and they saw comics, and then and like nope, I was like, oh, this nigga weirdo, bro. Ever since that day, I was perfectly able to walk down. That was going on. Never bothered me because they knew my crew was the nerds of the hood.
Wait, is that movie The Wood about you?
Nah. More dope. More the movie dope.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I went to K through 8 in Inglewood schools, and then high school I went to Pedro. And I was in Pedro, high school you kind of find people. Eventually, you find high school is good and bad, but I think middle school was worse. Middle school was like, yeah, that was a little. But high school, you end up finding your crowd. And
Yeah, no.
so I hung in the beginning before football, my little football run, interval run. I was hanging with the back. I found Austin 316 was like a call or NWO.
Mm.
So we all, and then sure enough, I started hanging with the backyard crowd, and then doing backyard wrestling. I'm a part San Pedro, much love. And then with football, with times towards the end of high school, I was like, okay, I want to talk to girls now. So then I started hanging with the football crowd, and but
You played ball?
a little bit. I had trouble with grade, I had ADHD, but a little bit. But I did track and football.
What position you play in football?
D line.
I would have ran your ass over.
Oh
I was a fullback.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
D-line.
I was I was a defensive end, or
Yeah,
I was a outside linebacker, which was basically a defensive end the way they lined us up, and I was a fullback. But they gave me the term power back because the other dude was a fullback, and I was a power back. So basically, we just got the first downs or the touchdown. So I was like, oh yeah, we running you guys the fuck over.
yeah. We would have got. I would have done well. Basically, I'm honest, and I talked to a lot of people about this, but I would have had better grades if I'd have looked like a lot of the spectrum and thing wasn't as strong. Learning about people with the spectrum and things like that, it wasn't as strong as it was from 2000, the early 2000s till now. Now kids is on.
Right.
I think if I'd I found out later I had ADHD. I found out in college I had ADHD. And so I'm on the spectrum a little bit, autism. So I think if they'd have found out earlier, I could have been better grades and playing more. I would have played 9 through 12.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I actually got pulled my 10th grade year off the team after like the fifth game because I suffered a concussion and some shit went down, and they're like, you cannot go play ball again. I'm like, why? Like,
Yeah.
it's either play ball or do martial arts. And I'm like, ooh, time the fuck out, man. Because I was heavy in the martial arts at the time, me and my father, and we were doing tournaments and shit. And I was like, man, like I had to give up the football career. So I was like, fuck, I'll just go to martial arts. And then I ended up giving martial arts to go smoke weed.
Oh, yeah, I was a good kid. Besides the grades issues, I was a good kid. And yeah, I was just trying to find my way just to like I said, I got into 50 Cent and all. I got into all that, but deep down, like I listen to you want to talk to girls, you got to dress like you saw those pictures. You got to dress like them. But deep down, I'm so into like I said, I'm in. I would just. It's really, really hard for Black kids, especially in to express themselves. And when I be called white boy, you're this, you're that, this, that, and the third. But I love EDM. I love lo-fi hip hop. I love vaporwave. I love. You know what my favorite form of rock is? 80s hair rock.
You know what? There's been like there I can always judge somebody off their outfits. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I can tell you just putting shit together to put shit together. But I've seen you dress a certain way. I'm like, nah. This motherfucker really does listen to 80s rock. I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you, like, that's not a gimmick. That's him, bro. That's him. If you go back in the 80s, he'd wear the checkered Vans, he'd wear the fucking TNC shirt. That's Sean Black.
Shout, let it on out.
Why don't you just go full 80s gimmick, bro? Go full 80s gimmick.
I got something coming for you. Stay tuned, summertime.
He said, stay tuned, summertime.
Yeah, I wish I still had hair because but
Hey, bro, I've seen plenty of videos. You can go glue some shit on, bro. You got
Yeah,
the perfect little fucking milk dud up there to get some shit going.
yeah.
I got a question for you. We're gonna get into some politicking here in the wrestling community, and I've done some interviews, and people are always waiting for the fucking what we're gonna shoot on, what we're gonna talk about. What's up with the D6W incident, Sean Black?
I'm gonna tell you something. This is the first time I think I know that I found out that people will turn on you in a second when it comes to wrestling.
Mhm.
Amped Up had a first two beautiful shows. Amped Up, the first one did amazingly well, which is on YouTube. Go check it out. Second one, Amped Up in the OC. It just we filmed it bad, but that was a good one. So I met up with Caesar B. Black from up north, and you know, he said he wanted to do some stuff. I always thought he was a genius and solid when he's not going off on me. And we talked about doing something one day. And then Mama Cece, rest in peace, Mr. Impact. That's another one who put me on. Rest in peace. No matter what he got into, no matter how feisty he was, Mr. Impact used to put money in people's pockets. A lot of guys who weren't working, whatever, he went out his way to put money in people's pockets. And so she came to me. She said, I got a building. I want to do this for Mike. I need your help. I'm like, hell yeah.
Right.
And so,
And for people who don't know, Mr. Impact used to wrestle on the scene for a while before he passed. And I think this is a fact. His cousin was Rocket Boy, right?
yeah, not blood, but they called each other. Rocket Boy's dope. Shout out, come back, Rocket Boy. I see.
Come back, Rocket Boy. We miss you, dog.
He looks at stuff, so I know he's around.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, he be peeping? He be
yeah,
peeping on the scene?
yeah.
All right. So back. All right. Sorry about that. Back to that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were finished. I
Oh,
looked
no,
at
no,
you.
no. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you.
Okay, so yeah. Now, I'm gonna talk about this, but there's a lot of people who I'm like, bruh, this. So it was going, it was popping. We were getting plans together. We saw her building it. It was beautiful. And then I met the son, and everything was cool. And then I started talking to her, and then we came up with the idea to where SoCal meets NorCal. See, I didn't know that. So it was coming together, and we had who I picked out at the time. Not saying I'm just this dude for anybody who, because people say about me, well, who is he? What dudes has he done? Nigga, shut your ass. No, I've heard that, but I picked out some guys from here and some guys from North. It's gonna be a banging show. I was gonna wrestle Will Hobbs.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first whammy that happens. The car was set, but you know what some foul motherfuckers started doing, and I'm sorry to say this,
I'm sorry.
is they started going around behind me, and D6W was gonna run monthly, like. So they start going behind me and telling her the mom, oh, I was friends with Impact. I need to be on this show. Y'all foul. Anybody who did that was dirty.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh. Call him out. No names, but you get it.
yeah, that was dirty because the show was set and it was gonna run monthly. You mean you can tell me wait one more month? I was gonna help book it, just one more month, and literally I was gonna, me, I try to rotate. There's an Amped Up show or two I wasn't on, because I want to make sure other people get their spot, get
Right,
some
right.
shine. So they would do that, and next thing you know, people were at it, and then Caesar was like, "Oh hell no, you can't just add." So they started clashes early behind the scenes. All right. Then to top it off, she was Cece out of blessed graces of heart. When Vinny was ready, she was letting people view it before it opened. Like you were going to Vegas.
Mhm.
People were taking pictures like, oh shit, this is amazing because D6W's venue was amazing.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So bless his heart. I got love for him, but Bill Chew went out.
Oh, shit.
And so the referees and everything were set. Bill Chew went out, and next thing you know, I saw on Facebook, showed a picture. It said Bill Chew is the official referee for D6. I was like, bro, we didn't agree to none of that. But they were going telling her, and this not against Bill, but I love him, but professional is professional, friendship, friendship. So show day comes, and we're getting closer, and then rest in peace, the legend Virgil Flynn passed away. So the NorCal guys were in limbo, just waiting to see what his memorial show and his services were.
Okay.
Then they announced that the services were going to be the same day as D6, so every NorCal guy pulled out.
Of course.
So what I wanted to do was, since I was a dojo kid, I went over and just like, you know what? Grab all the little dojo kids. It was Vandergriff, Dom, DKC, think, and looking out for the dojo, put it together. And then last I got Vintage Dragon, and they were a little concerned because Vintage and Impact had heat, but I like the time. Vintage has that fast style, and Vandergriff has the flips.
Right.
It turned out to be a solid match. Well, long story short, let me get back to it. First thing, Bill messes up and fucks up the match. I forget. I think it was a D. So I'm getting fussed at for that. And then it was live stream. So imagine me being backstage, and D6W is going to be a big event. So Bill fucked up the finish, and then what happened next? So then, somebody from the crowd bro, I could see if he was in the back, but somebody from the crowd was throwing papers, but from the front row into the ring during the matches. And then so during our match, it was Mikey O'Shea, the Juggernauts versus AK Rambe. Remember them? Mike and KC. So as we were wrestling, the papers come in again. I didn't see it, but Mikey was saying something to him. But Impact's mom goes to sit next to the people who's throwing them. And she's talking. If you look in the video footage, I don't know what escalated, but her and the girl start going. And next thing you know, there's a push and there's a fight in the crowd. No really punches thrown, but a lot of shoving and this, that.
Yeah. Bickering.
So Mikey jumped in, but I got on the mic. I said, listen, we here to have fun, this to that. Let's wrestle. But it's funny because the fans were loving it. And then somebody gave a mic to a random girl in the crowd, and then the girl was like, all right. And then we're like, Mikey has somebody headlocked his punch. She's like, and 1, 2. Like, she starts doing commentary. We were like, what are you? So, but then people were they pushed, luckily at back door, so they get the guy out. And it turns out it was somebody's landlord. So the lady starts yelling at me, like, that's my landlord. Don't yell at him. I'm like, what? I don't care. Because, you're fucking up the show.
Right. Fuck your landlord.
And then that match ended up being very good after all that. And then this is where SoCal went ham. Like, I didn't know what went on. And I don't know nothing's going on. The commentators were upstairs. Nice little setup, but next to the bar. So one of the commentators got loaded and was just saying wacky stuff over the live stream. It's
Who are the commentators? Do you remember?
It was Stepdaddy and Stepson from BPW. Stepdaddy, my boys. They're good people.
Oh, I have no idea.
He started using wrestling terms. He's like, hey, and I guess KC wasn't selling because Mikey's boom. It's fucking Mikey O'Shea.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying, I'm like, hey, kid, learn how to sell this, that, and the third. So over the mic. Yeah. And then he said some whack. They were just cracking a lot of jokes. So the main event was good. And the crowd, Mariah was a little tipsy herself too. And so the crowd loved it. They were on their feet. I go the next day, I didn't have so many people going off on me or And me and Jeff squashed. Jeff Dino was like, "Who the fuck runs this promotion?" I was like, hey. And everybody came down because of the commentary. Not so much the wrestling, but the commentary. Yeah.
Why did Jeff come down here? Because he rented you the ring or something?
No. He said, he said, why the hell's Bill referee? He said he's still, and he's like, who's this promote? Yeah. So this was my first time of being like jump attacked by SoCal. And I was like, wait a minute. But then, people started saying some stuff. And I was like, are you guys crazy? Like, I ain't no tough guy, but you are not talking to me like a child, bro. Yeah, you gotta be ashamed of yourself. Like, what? I said, bro, you better calm down. Wrestling can stop. But this is where it all started. Because the person who went off on me and from that show turned a lot of people against me, told people don't wrestle for him. He's a piece of shit. He's this, he's that. He ain't shit. He's the worst wrestler. He could have been something. The person went off on me the most and left me a paragraph was good old, our favorite international superstar, Jake Atlas.
Oh, Mr. TMZ himself?
And I told him, I'm like, bro, you're only a year or two in. Like, you need to calm down. He's like, you buried my students, this, that, and the third. And he just left me just one mass thing. I was like, bro, when this is the thing with this backstab and the turn. When he said he wanted to come out and everything, and I said congratulations. I had just started ending as he started training like consistently, and we did a birthday show together. And it's sad that, like I said, it's so many people that I meet him, Sway Thompson, and I'm giving them. I watch their matches, and I'm giving them all these props, and then they just all just fucking turned on me. And I'm up here praising these people. This person good. I watched Sway came to UEW and he was dabbing. I was like, oh, little hoodie white dude, doing a dab, and and he did little turns. He had a grill. I thought he was cool, but and same with Jake. He was real quiet at first, and then I would watch his matches, tell him how good he is. I remember telling him, I wanted him be on the cruiserweight. UEW used to have a cruiserweight cup.
Oh yeah.
And I was so happy, hugging, give each other problems. I love y'all, man. I'm just such especially when I have a little drinky poo. I'm just such a happy, like, let's all have some,
Right.
And that was the first time I was like, yo, you just turned on me, like, Jake, what was? And so then I saw him again. I asked him, hey, I know it's a moment. Are we cool? Is anything wrong? He said, no, Sean, everything good. So I was like, all right. So I was like, cool. I knew we weren't be like friends,
right?
But I just made sure. I just wanted to make sure we're on good terms. One time I showed up to the dojo to do something chaos, but I wasn't really going as much to pick something up or do something. And I came in and lost Luchas. And I'm like, hey, everybody. I saw him whisper some stuff to some of the students, and they start laughing. And he looks over. He did like a shifty eye. So I'm like, he's still on his bullshit. So I was like, look, it's Lost Lucha. I'm gonna be cool. I gotta be the older. And then one day, training was like I was in between training or something. I happened to be there, and I'm in there laughing, this, that, and the third. I remember Vinny Walsh, a couple people was there, and then I left. And then there's a mole always. I got an inbox and it said, bro, Jake is in here just shitting on you, bro. Like, if you ever wrestle like him or you talk to people who wrestle like him or wrestle companies, we won't talk to you. He ain't shit. He ain't this, that, and the third. This, that. So I got home. I seen that. And I remember I talked to Darwin, and Darwin was one of my good friends. I talked to a couple of people because at that point, it wouldn't. If I had seen him again, it would have been like, no, let's talk. It would have been just bow. Like it would have been no like, come outside. Like there would have been nothing to stop me. But one of the things that I was told is, Sean, everybody knows he talks shit about you. He fucks with you, this, that. But if you were to start beating on him, everybody's going to still blame you. So I literally waited until, because I heard he got signed. I heard he did, they did the whole show. They lifted him up, all, everything. I didn't go to the dojo. I just stepped foot in training until he left, because, like, I did absolutely nothing to that dude. And that's what I'm getting at. People have told me that, and even Andrew told him, I got love, man. They don't like people I associate with. Everybody has that thing. But my problem is this. Why should I treat you bad because people don't think you're a good wrestler? Why? Why can't I have to say hi, give you a hug, how you doing, this and that? You can be my friend and still not be the greatest wrestler. Darwin was still my homie. Darwin is one of the best wrestlers in SoCal. He could have jumped on it and abandoned me too. Fuck Sean Black. This, that, he wrestled sucky, this and that. But me and him, our families that hung out, all that. So like I said, people start this thing, these wrestlers are ruining the business. Nigga, nobody paying attention to a show but fucking Egypt somewhere, unless somebody digs it up. There's like, you know what I'm saying? Unless somebody like random blogger or influencer digs it up. There's so many shows and so much footage has not been seen ever. People aren't ruining the scene. There's actually, I think right now, at this point, I think there's actually way less. I'm not the one to go around and like, I don't feel like, when I think of bad, there's people, everybody wrestles at different levels.
Yeah. Of course.
Ruben Iglesias, people fuck with him. He's not considered not top tier. But why does WWE call him every time they come to LA? He's doing something. It may not be to your liking or this company's liking,
but he's getting that call.
This man has wrestled more WWE guys than probably some guys in NXT. I remember I was at Tokyo, was the Ontario Center, sitting there, and Keith Lee comes out, and I didn't see in the ring. Ruben, I was like, what the? I'm in the crowd, like, wait a minute.
Shout out Hot Tub Sean. Shout out Keith Lee. Everyone's gonna go, what do you mean? If you ever want to hear the Hot Tub Sean Keith Lee story, it's a $10 charge to my Venmo, and I'll let you know what happened.
But yeah, man,
so that was one of your that was one of your big experiences of like just people starting to turn on you for just no fucking reason, huh?
That was the one. But he was leading the charge, and he wrong for that. And people, because there was a point, like I said, I heard people like, fuck Sean Black. He did. You don't even know, like, you just listening to what he say, and, and what others say, and what. But why? I don't do nothing to people. I don't do nothing to people. Like people really be. And it was funny because one or two of these guys, when these clicks. One day I saw something, because I caught, like I said, there's several people. Maybe I'll bring it up to them one day. Maybe I'm not, but I know who's who. And one of these guys put on a Twitter, Black Lives Matter. Dude, because you sure was talking shit about me. I'm like, sir, when you quote that.
Right.
But like I said, his ego is.
But that's not this something. So this ain't the first time you ever took some heat for something. There was another incident you took some heat for that had nothing to do with you, right? The Shiloh incident.
Yeah, that's another thing. And shame on you all who haven't apologized, because I don't know how people do friends with Shiloh, my homie. Shiloh like my little brother, bro. I'm sure you've seen it. There's a lot of people that don't.
We're talking about Shiloh Greaves, right?
Yeah. You heard, Andrew wanted to get him. Shiloh can be feisty, but Shiloh's literally like like the because I have a sister, but he's like a little brother, bro. And when the T thing went down, the whole world was hot, hot, hot. But my
Explain what
man,
happened.
yeah, when they started stocking, what's that, doxing his home and all that, and he had to move, and one character kept it going. That's another one, and that guy, I just it has to be some type of issues, but Swade Thompson went on the news and went on a campaign when that going down with no information. But when the news and the media would talk, his name was always up there. It's an independent wrestler, Swade Thompson says, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but the thing is this, I've been around Shiloh. There's points, I was like Shiloh every weekend. Shiloh and Swade don't know each other like that. So, but Swade was just doing this shit to get himself over, bro. And so a lot of when I started defending him, of course, like you heard earlier, there's certain circles that don't like me or the way I wrestle. It's okay. I mean, there's guys on like what's that, Eddie Kingston? He's making money, bro.
This big
So
ass making good money.
yeah. So it's like, I mean, people ain't gonna like how people wrestle, this, that, and the third, but it's about integrity, bro. And Shiloh's telling you like I bought the T, this, that, but it seemed like there was a point where everybody wanted to jump on it, and then Swade was leading the charge. So I couldn't take it. I went up on Swade like, bro, all you do is you a fake Chris Bay wanna be to this. I just went in. I couldn't take it no more. And then, Chris got upset at me too, but I was like, I can't hold back. But then the one thing I respect about Chris Bay is when Sway got busted and everything went down, he apologized to me. Nobody else did. He inboxed and was like, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And we talked, a couple paragraphs, and I just
What was
told him.
the incident? What was the incident over? Like, so he spit on somebody or something?
It just came at the wrong time. There was a little error on blogging to where on YouTube with dumb kids were doing pranks. They would lick ice cream and put it back, or spitting in food and relocking it.
Yeah.
So Shiloh was wrestling a wrestler named Big T, and he said, "This is what I think about you." He put out a sweet tea, and he opened his spit in it and put it back. He ran down the aisle. After it was over, he took the tea he bought and bought it. He posted. He did this. He did the promo.
Right.
Because Shiloh plays, he's ignorant. He plays like a little miscreant, deviant, hoodie slash weird slash.
Is Shiloh the one that jumped in a ring during a show?
So that yeah. So then he started doing his things. Like once he got cleared, he was mad too. Like none of y'all gonna apologize. Y'all all did this. So he did this little run of him running and wrestling. it was it was a work shoot, but they didn't tell BC Killer that it was a work shoot. He was doing it, and BC grabbed him and said, "Wow!" Stuck him in the face. Shoot. Busted his shit. But Shiloh was like, fuck it. Like, hey, this is good. This is good. Run with it. But bro, wrestlers were inboxing me. They were like, you better take your boy, don't run in our show. It was so wild, bro. It was so wild.
Because I remember watching it and I remember messaging people like, yo, what's up with this, bro? Like, this dude just rushed the ring for real? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. She was wild, bro.
Damn.
But yeah, man. But yeah, man, it just I don't those are the only two names I'm gonna say because they really went out their way to fuck with me and mine. And it's not about being cool. I know people got Andrew, people got podcasts, this and that, but I feel like them two right there don't when wrestlers like to make fun of wrestlers and do shit like that, they skip people like this who are actually doing legit dirt and hurting, telling people don't book people, telling people don't do this, that, and the third, this, that. It's absolutely rare. I've said who I don't think I've ever said told somebody
Everyone in everyone in the world should say, do not book Mr. California. That's okay to say out of everyone's fucking mouth. Everyone's allowed to say, do not book Mr. California. I give everyone permission.
A short story. It's funny because I did part time work at a gentleman's club recently after my last breakup,
I
and
worked at strip clubs too, bro.
I was bouncing. And he came in there 2 or 3 times, and the first
Who,
dance.
Mr. California?
Yeah, yeah,
Marvin?
yeah. He told me too. Yeah, he told me. I forgot how to say because after I saw him at a show, he said, "I'm about to go to the Holiday Norwalk." So Holiday, I work there, bro.
Oh,
He,
snap.
yeah. Ooh, snap. Then sure enough, the day came, and I was like, "Oh snap, he's here!" And then a girl said, "We don't like him when he don't tip."
Mr. California don't tip. He's not tipping. He makes all that money off those big ass shows he throws every month.
So then he came again, and then I could see like he talked to one, but then they scattered. But then the third time he did tip some.
Oh man, Mr. California, stop bumming it at the strip club. Get your ass out this club. You don't belong in a ring, a club. Fucking anyway, just stay at home, bro. Stay your staph infection ass at home, bro.
Hold on, let me turn
God,
this off. Let me turn this off real quick. Somebody's calling me. Hold on.
yeah. We're gonna pause for a station identification. This is Mike Up with Gus. Go ahead and follow me on YouTube, at Mike Up with Gus on Instagram as well. While we wait for Sean Black, we're going to drum up some more conversation with him because I think that there's some things that we're going to bring up while he's drinking. We just won't tell him yet.
Okay. Okay.
You heard that?
Yeah, yeah. What you got? What you got? We got time, huh?
Well, you said you don't have heat with many people, but you did bring up one name. I don't know if you want to bring it up or bring up the why there's heat. Um, I know that group over in Orange County um, draws heat for whatever reason they do. You know what I mean? Um, I know a dude. I've never met this guy named John De La Ao Delalo or
John DeLo.
sure, sure.
I'm gonna tell you something, man.
But I know there's was is might be some tension
Well,
between you
I'm
guys.
lifetime banned from there.
Banned
But
from where?
just the dojo in general, because there's other shows that run out of there, but he's told
There's
people,
900 shows that run out of there. It's like the new UEW arena or whatever, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And what happened was, I'm gonna speak first and foremost. I'm gonna actually speak some good. I was just started working 2 jobs, and I was doing the OCCW thing. OCCW was always been. I'm gonna speak highly right now. Out of love, the backstory. I know a lot of big names. It's funny, a lot of big names were there at first, but they started dropping off more and more. And I was still, I think, 4 years in, 2014. Yeah. And they said claims unprofessional, a lot of things. The only thing unprofessional I thought is they would make the cards there, like on the wall, and then they'd be like, all right, so who you want to go over? And we're the wrestlers like, wait, what?
Wait, to me, motherfucker.
Yeah. And so, but other than that, and then the pay was lower. But my thing with I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go into it. My thing with wrestling is, I've always been a working man sitting in wrestling. Money is a deaf part of it. Dave Marquez had a really good seminar, and he talked about like you think you're gonna make million like thousands your first few years on the indies, you are crazy. You
Especially
know,
working for him.
yeah. All right, Z. So
I
it
got
makes sense. Like a lot of guys literally out the gate are worried about money more than the craft. And I'm like, bro, you still green as hell.
right.
Yeah. So it was like 30 to $40. And I didn't care because the company was popping. The Hooter girls used to come. The shows were packed. It's Orange County. I was
Right,
right before that relationship, hotties in the crowd.
right.
And then to top it off, once I started looking at indies, as weird as this is gonna sound, I actually wanted to be in indie wrestler. I love the fact, like, granted, we all do. Who don't want to get signed? with WWE and this and that and the third and big
Right.
crowds. But hey, man, I'm not from the South, but I love a little down home indie. Like, I wish I would have had that as a kid. Go down to the old armory, to the old gym to see wrestling.
Go down the blue gum.
Yeah, yeah, shit and that shit was fun, bro. There's, like I said, there's big crowds, but and then to top it off, I had knots passes. So me and my ex, I would make OCCW a day. I'll either go to the Knots or Disneyland, or I was promoting a big girl club called Bubbles in Westminster. Hey, I'll
Hey.
wrestle. I would literally on the same street. I would wrestle, go, wipe up, take my cologne, brush my teeth, and head right to the club.
BBW time, baby. BBW time.
And then it became like a family vibe. There were points where we would even still meet up at the dojo and just watch the tape, eat
Okay.
pizza. So I'm gonna say that to say John did create a family business vibe. Now, I didn't know that John had an insane temper.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know, kind of in control. I would say, Mike managed a little bit, but it was one day. What started was this one day in particular. And I was working 2 jobs and I showed up late, but not late, late. Not like weird Sean late. Like, I took a picture of the road. I said, hey, because LA, Inglewood to Anaheim is not close. I mean, Inglewood to Westminster on a Saturday day coming from work is not close. You ran it.
Gotcha.
So
LA
I took
traffic
that picture and
sucks.
just said, hey, I said, hey, I'm running late. I don't think he got it. So I get there and people are still coming in and he just goes off. You laugh when you think it's somebody not you when you somebody not used to it, you think it's not real.
Right,
So
right, right.
I said, oh, John. And he was like, everybody was like, oh, laughing, like, and then everybody's like, and he did it again. He was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm serious. And I was like, bro, like, I'm here. The ring, I mean, I'm here to help. Like, it was like at least 30 minutes after call time.
But you were still
Because
there before the show.
people were coming, yeah. It wasn't like a rush, like, oh shit, what we gotta do late. It was like
Right.
everybody come, niggas was sitting down and
Right,
having
right, 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 right.
some people were playing with the ring, fixing it. It was just like that. And then uh it went well. I mean, it went, and then I had my show. Now this is where it gets tricky. So after the last OCW show, I had flyers, so I was passing them out. He didn't see it. So he used to have a broadcast, TV broadcast. I'm sure Andrew told you. And I was one of the people who pulled him for Othello to come in. And Othello was champion while I was there. Instead of spoiling the championship match, I put the winner between Othello and on the flyer, Othello and whoever it was is going to face Daniel Azriel. But I put the title up, but I didn't put Othello's face. Now, after the show, I asked John, okay, so who's going to face him since Othello won? Who's going to face? I went. And John was like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm like, you need to tell me so I can make the flyer. I can finish the flyer now that he's like, we'll figure it out. I go to the show, the TV broadcast, and I'm first, and they're interviewing me, and he's like, who's Othello gonna face? I was like, I don't know, we'll find out. So I don't know if you know, Othello got a temper. And so
Never met him.
okay, so Othello and his wife in the next room. I was like, yeah, you ready, man? So you doing off. You doing me wrong, Sean. To the point to where they had to say, hey, y'all take the next room. I'm like, Othello is me. Same. I said, bro, it's me, bro. Your homie. Like, what's it? I don't like how you doing me. You always be hiding me because at the first amp, he was surprised. And I booked, but he's a big dude, and I want to bust the curtain.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. But I think he felt slighted because he wasn't on the picture. But I told him, Othello, you're the surprise. Yeah. So he felt like he did me like this again, this, that, and the third. And then so we went in there. I was like, So then I told John. John was like, "Yeah, where are your flyers?" So it felt like a joint attack. And I was like, "Bro, we have flyers. I don't have them on me right now. We're in the studio. Who want to get them? People like it's like 3 of us here." His wife. So my show comes, and so wait. So I was like, after Othello goes off, and I said, "Look, let's talk to John." So I go to John. I said, "Look, Othello is mad at who you want to wrestle." He said, he said, Freddie Flores. I said, 2 weeks. He could have just said that. So he could have said that a long time ago, bro.
Right.
And then so so I think John was like, nobody's gonna show up. Bro, I promoted this shit. I went to Disneyland, everything. We packed, mark my words, we won the first show. We packed that little baby dojo out. There's footage online before, you know. And then now they got it outside, you know, they're doing, you know. So then my show comes, and you know, being a promoter, all of a sudden people got rise, this, that, and the third. So I'm backing everybody up. I'm doing it. And then John, my show started. I got there for call time. He said, "You supposed to be here earlier." And he got mad. And so then this is where our beef started. And I was young at the time. As far as my end, I apologize for my actions. John went on his show and he dissed me. He said, "Yeah, you need more." He told Mikey, "You need more reliable tag partners." And so he's dissing me. I got hurt because I looked at him as like a mentor and a homie. We weren't diehard friends. So Angela 2 at the time had a podcast on his own. Well, I went on there and I just let everybody have it. Like, y'all doing all this. You know, I was young, you know, and I said, "Nigga, we was wrestling for $20 and free meatball sandwiches." Now the meatball sandwiches is fire though.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It fucking sounds good right now.
And so because I didn't like one time he got on top of the stage, he was like, "I pay you what I feel. Whatever is in your envelope, if you show up late, you do this, you do that." And some fans were in there. Whatever you're getting low is what you deserve. And everybody just got quiet. It was like a teacher, like it was like, I hate to say, it was like slave master standing on the top of the thing. He told me, "I pay you what you." Do you hear that? And what I feel. And even Mikey knew my face. O'Shea was like, "You okay?" I was like, "This wasn't right, bro." Even if somebody show up late, pay them. You just don't use them. Don't use them no more. You feel like some type of way. But the fans got quiet who were in there, everything.
Now that's. I'm not saying you were embarrassed, but that's just like it's just that's embarrassing for the company, especially if like a fan sees that. It's like, bro, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be around that, you know.
Yeah, and then I went to did the immature thing. I would get on his podcast and I would troll with him. I would troll the comments and things. And then one time he found out it was me. I would use different people's names, and then we started going back and forth. I talked about his mom, and he started talking crap like I'll fuck you up, this and that. So me, I'm like, okay, I know he jujitsu, but I wasn't, I started to think. I'm like, all right, we pull up, call them homies and just go. I'm not a gangster or anything, but you got friends, especially my white homeboy that just like to fight. Like, dude, let's go crack some. So I was gonna load up, but I talked to. It's funny. I called Robbie Phoenix. Then I talked to my pastor, and he was like, "Dude, just let him talk because you're gonna go down there, and then everybody's gonna get in trouble, arrest. Already black in Westminster, going into a sports facility, and then going up there with a bunch of people went upstairs, and it would have been just one big mess.
Not a good look at all.
Yeah, and then I was hurt because then some of his, some people I was peers with were talking, making fun of me on the show too, and everybody was protecting John, but then people said they're gonna find out about John too. Just know, and everybody except for like Asbro, we were still cool. Everybody who they're not with the company no more. But I will say this: everybody goes hard on OCCW. I saw this on the other podcast, and I saw y'all talk about it. Reach out to some of these guys for the upper OGs and things. Reach out to some of these guys that are mentors, things like that. If you see somebody's having whack matches and this, that, I mean, what's talking about it behind their back in the group chat gonna do? What's talking about at your training? Invite them.
Right.
Invite them. Invite like, hey, MPW boys, the Devon, Ray, all of them's like hey, bro, just come, just come. Try a $25 open ring with us. Try a because once again, I want to see success, and I don't want to see these boys wrestle just one place once or twice a month. Every I really just want to see people successful and not really get out there and hurt themselves or injure themselves.
Right. I think that's the big thing is like uh, people got to want to go train. People got to want to find that right place, and they got to just dump the fact of, okay, I've been a crappy, shitty wrestler for so many years, and if I show up to this school now, bro, don't be embarrassed to go to a school now. Like, if you're trying to do something, you're trying to get out there, like, go get trained. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, but don't fall for any school either. Like, you got to do your homework. Santino Brothers, MPW, shit like that. I don't know what's really down in Southern California, but I know there's like 3 schools in San Diego ran by people that aren't trainers. You know what I mean? I said it before and I'll say it again.
I'm,
But
I'm gonna look at it like this. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I go to church, and when you're a minister, you are called to minister. There's a lot of fraudulent, and as you've seen through time, you've seen news articles, fraudulent pastors out here
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
acting like it, faking the funk, getting money, not even being real. Like, how you have backyarders? Yeah. For instance, what if I told everybody on this podcast I'm a minister right now, and then somebody say, "Well, prove it." I'm like, and then the Lord said, "You gotta come to go to church." You were like, this nigga is full of it. You know what I'm saying?
Until he brings out Randy Watson, you're like, oh shit, he
Yeah.
real. He real as fuck.
Nah, but you know who people are ministered. It's a calling. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. It's just Gandhi.
Farrakhan.
Like it's a vibe. It's a with teaching. Great teachers out there. Absolutely shitty teachers. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I knew teachers that would just pay. They just give you A's for attendance growing up. But look what happens with that. Look what happens with that. People get out in
You
the real world, and they if the kid we would think that was cool. But you get out in the real world or a harder class, you be like, oh snap! Like, I don't know this, I don't know that. Wrestling training. I believe some people are called to wrestling train, and I believe chaos is just one of them, bro. And you don't even have to have a major like a career at a major company. Just chaos is just so talented, like extremely, and that's not even because he just trained me. There's stuff I'm be still in awe. Like this dude is freaking amazing.
mm-hmm.
I stopped by and Alonso Alvarez isn't on the scene as crazy much, but he's training at the dojo and he is good.
Isn't he like one of the trainers?
Yeah, he's a trainer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. Eli
By the
is
way,
good. Yeah.
dear Southern California, if you want a legitimate heel who's gonna go in there and use his facials and his skills and just be that guy who goes in there and terrorizes and will take a title and run with it, call up Alonzo.
Yeah.
You guys need to utilize it. That is a heel amongst heels if you use him properly. You
Yeah.
have, but Alonzo's one of those guys you have to use properly. Like if you're gonna use him for your company and have him like be a staple, because Alonzo could be a staple in a lot of people's companies, man. He could help carry a lot of like faces and shit that they're trying to build. You know what I mean? Alonzo could be that fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. Such a good dude, Eli, and I know Slice. I got to see. Yeah, I've been going to when I can open rings, so I popped up and seen a lot of old faces and new
Nice.
faces, and it just how to say it. I'm when I went to 2 or 3 before me and John fell. I went to at least 3 to 4 trainings at OCCW, and I will say that the workouts are good. I would just think more psych and them not letting people out so early. And guest trainers. I haven't been in years, but if there was guest trainers and seminars there, and shout out Cholo has a school there too. Little Cholo's dope.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But um, it's rough because Andrew did destroy that. Just gave him the OC bad. What was the first show?
Hey
but
man, that's
but
him. You know.
yeah. But my thing is one of my old coaches said you can only help those who want to help themselves. And I feel like a lot of guys who got the Andrew and who got, when wrestlers do go hard, I feel like a lot of those guys, if you can do the dad talk, just invite them. That's it. If you love, this guys, I love this business. If you can do all that and say all that, invite some of the guys that you see instead of like it's easy. I heard about when I was coming up, there was a wrestling party and they were looking at all bad matches, having drinks and eating and making fun of people. What does that do? What does that do, bro? It doesn't do anything for anybody. You know, if
And
you
I and I
good,
and I and I'm accused of doing the same thing because I reviewed some matches and it's like, yeah, okay, I reviewed them, but did I reach out to any of these guys and offer them ways to improve themselves? No, I didn't. And after I rewatched it, I'm like, I'm kind of a part of that problem. You know what I mean? Like I should reach out to these guys and be like, hey, because I've had workers reach out to me like, hey, Gus, can you look at this match? I'm like, why? And I'm like, oh yeah, I was a promoter for fucking a million years, and I've had some pretty big fucking names on my show. And it's like, okay, so these guys value my opinion. So here's my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, but I could help the problem or I could be a part of the problem. And right now I want to help the problem. You know what I mean? And probably reviewing matches on this podcast probably isn't the best thing. You know what I mean? But reaching out to them, that might be the next best thing, So
um, reviewing
but
matches.
but some guys do need to hear like, yo, man, what are you doing in there? Like some guys just really need to hear that shit. Like, what the fuck are
And
you
I
doing in
got
there?
it amped up, and amped up. We didn't got shit. It's motherfuckers. If you look at our catalog, you go through the YouTube catalog. We've had guys from horrible to who are now WWE superstars who wrestle in AEW, amped up. Things happen, bro. WWE's gone. Major companies have had bad matches, bro.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, I don't like that mob mentality of everybody jumping. And it shows be fair. Like I said, we've had straight up fair everything fair. And in one match, like I said, there's times when I gave opportunities to people, or when somebody knows show and I'm like, hey, this is your moment. They got in there, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Well, you lost your mind, like you've been begging me to get on for this, for this.
For real, Triv, stop asking people to get on shows, bro. Did you- he said, I'm gonna just look away right now. I'm gonna just
You
look
know what? You know
away.
what? You know what? You know what? It's the I reached out to I talked to Legend Daryl and things like that. And Triv, and you just gotta want it, bro. They both are young, and I talked to personally because, like I said, it was a rough week last week for Daryl, and he looked like he's taking to the chin. See love too, and uh, I'm gonna just say to everybody, tease that was me at one point. You heard earlier. Didn't you say somebody said don't use Sean Black? Remember?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna, you got to get up and get something because, like, I'm gonna say it one more time. Am I Mr. Technical Wizard? I mean, look, there's a match between me, B Boy, and Jacob online.
Good.
Look at it, your choice. I'm in the mix.
Right.
I asked Kid Bandit. Kid Bandit, he was saying one time, he's sitting aside. He's like, yeah, people diss you, say you're a horrible wrestler. Kid Bandit was like, your match wasn't bad. Like, it was one of the, I was like, your match was really good. I was like, you see, you ain't gonna please everybody, bro.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because they
But
told Kim Bandit, the last little batch told Kim Bandit and what's that big boy he with, the black dude, Ishmael. They said, don't mess with Sean. And then I used them. And then they saw my match. They were like, we were kind of told you weren't that good. And I'm like,
Shout out to Ishmael Vaughn. I like that dude.
yeah,
He
yeah,
came down. He came down from one of our shows in San Diego. Good kid.
yeah, like yeah. And I tell people, like, if you want Will Ospreay and Danielson and Okada, I am not them, bro. But
I I look, man. When I shoot out my opinions about independent wrestling, it's because I mean, if you don't know me and you're like, well, what's this guy talking about? It's like, bro, I am 44 years old, and I know people don't like hearing this, but this is my 24th year around the independent scene. I started off in Minnesota in the year 2000. Okay. I watched a lot of things, bro. I've sat in the locker room with a lot of people. I've met people that you're like, what the fuck? And I mean, I've smoked weed with people that you're like, what the fuck? Like, I've seen a lot of wrestling in my life. I've booked a lot of wrestlers in my life. I've been a wrestler. And that's another thing you guys need to understand. I wrestled not for many years, but I at least have about 250 matches under my belt, believe it or not. Like between
we
Minnesota,
wrestled recently too.
you know, Sean Black was on that team, man. But it's like when I criticize shit and I say something, I'm not attacking you personally. I'm just like, and I'm not attacking at all. I'm at a frustrated level with some things in wrestling because I put a lot of my effort into this shit, like I've said before. And it's like, I want to see good things come out of the wrestling scene in Southern California. I want us to be a destination. I don't want it to be like, oh God, look at fuck's going on over there. Like anybody can wrestle over there. That's what I don't want the vibe to be, is like anybody can go to Southern California and wrestle. Like any promotion like GCW, West Coast, like, hey, let's just go to SoCal and pop up because they need good wrestling. And we know we can go there to put it on. It's like, fuck, so when I criticize you guys and I say the things that I did, I'm not apologetic. Like I'll put Low out there. Low reached out to me. He wasn't mad at nothing. He was like, "Bro, I respect you and I highly respect you because you've been so honest." Now, I've been honest because I had my own product. So I used to criticize a lot because my product was my product. I just continued on critiquing things, you know what I mean? So like, I reached out to Bagu. I'm like, hey, are you mad? Nah. He's like, I'm just gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna keep going to the gym and I'm gonna keep working on myself. Good, good, man. I'm sorry that I put you out there. My apologies on that one. But I know some people are like kind of upset with what happened. But like Sean said, if you want it, you gotta go get it, man. You gotta go get it. You gotta really go get it.
And the door is open for I still help out Lucha Pro. Lucha Pro's literally down the street of my house. I know it's not one of the cool, how it is, but Lucha Pro gave me my shot. And that's another thing. A lot of people in wrestling don't have no loyalty. And Lucha Pro, and from there they opened the door to UIPW, which introduced me to the Lucha world, which I was able to wrestle in Mexico a few times. I want to go back, please, promoters. But you know, it's a little hole in the wall down the street from my house that gets packed. I love it. The food is great, and I've opened the door to many wrestlers. So
I hate you.
trigger. Why I say that?
Because I know it's good Mexican food. We have shit Mexican food.
Ooh.
I'm fucking shut your ass up.
Shout out to Trigger and Augie. And so that door is open. Trigger hits me. I'm not saying I'm the American Booker, but at least every show he was like, "Do you have guys?" And so I be offering guys, train. It's like training in front of a crowd too.
Yeah, right.
So if you want to get some money, quick money grab, no. But if you want to train and get a little money, it's basically training in front of a crowd. So holler at me. We can get you on Lucha Pro. And they're hoping to run every Sunday like they used to.
Okay.
Which means that's one of the reasons I got more confident in the ring.
Gotcha.
Besides
Getting your reps in.
Yeah. So that's offered. But Trib, like I said, Trib is a good dude. They all they're all good dudes. I saw Andrew, he went in, but in his Andrew way. But you know what you gotta do. But it's crazy because like I said, Andrew, I didn't like him at first either. I did not like him. And what happened was, I wasn't bad, but he gave like it was like I couldn't do nothing right. He didn't give me a suck yet, but one day I was at a backyard party where Santino's used to train out of. It was Johnny's house. It used to be a house. It was a mania party. And he had a jersey on, I forgot what it was. And I was like, oh, that's a good jersey, isn't that? We had a little laugh and talk. Then I thought about, wait a minute, because he had long hair. And I was like, wait a minute. Hey, what's your name? He said, I know you're Sean Black. I said, who you? I'm Andrew Pacini. I was like, you bitch ass. Y'all probably get to see your ass, huh? Yeah. And then so, when I'm on my off, when I'm on my off, wrestling, having fun vibe, it's all love, bro. And so we started talking. I'm like, I didn't like you, but you're actually okay. He wasn't doing this like that, what you saw in the interviews.
Right.
He might do it a little bit, but for the most part, he's chill as fuck. And we got to laughing. Now we've had some back and forth to the point. I'm like, Andrew, we got to disagree because you getting too passionate. Andrew's more, I'm like, let me help me more. And like, Andrew's more like, fuck this guy. Like, I'm like, no,
Fuck
no,
you,
this is
fuck
the
you,
homie.
fuck you.
Yeah, because when he said fuck RP, I was like, oh. Now I know, but Andrew he's very passionate and and things
A
like that.
lot
But
of and here's the thing about Andrew is a lot of people weren't around for him. You know what I mean? A lot of these new guys, a lot of people like they might have caught the ass end of Andrew or not even like there's people like who is that? I'm like, it's not that he was this big factor in Southern California, but they were like that whole
he's a big
SoCal.
factor in the journalism.
He 100% was,
He was
and
just a more turned up Dave Meltzer.
and the thing was is that for as much people talk shit about his reviews, the people who was talking shit couldn't wait to read the next one because it's like he's gonna bash somebody, he's gonna fuck as long as it's not me, you know what I mean? But then as soon as it was about them, he's like, oh man, fuck this, bro. I've sat on the phone or not sat on the phone, but I've sat here and talked to Andrew like right now. I'm like, hey, what's up, Andrew? Fuck the Dodgers. Like, well, fuck the Padres. All right, cool, 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 man. Hey, man, buddy, buddy, buddy. And then my review comes out of my show, and it's like shitty reviews. I'm like, bro, we were just talking as friends. You know what I mean? But that's why I've always respected him because he's never held back. And I was like, you know what? He was the first one to reach out to me when I was like going to do this podcasting thing. He's like, I want to talk. And I'm like, I know you do. I know you do, motherfucker. But you guys got to understand, don't take any, like, I love Andrew to death for who he is and what he's done for the business and what he's about to do and accomplish. And just don't take it personally. You know what I mean? Just if he's if he's shooting on you on a personal level, then maybe reach out to him like, yo, bro, I would like, do we know each other? Maybe work it out. If he's critiquing your match and saying you're a shitty match, hey man, like that's his opinion. And if you guys want to take that opinion and do something with it and go look at your match over again and compare it to another match, hey, that's all we can say. But Andrew has just been around a long time, and a lot of people just didn't know who he was because SoCal Uncensored just kind of stopped like right after the pandemic, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after that, I mean, because SoCal Uncensored was literally like the informational hub. It had a forum, like people were talking shit on there on that fucking forum, like hella just going at it. And then all the dates, all the flyers would come out, and then of course, I think the biggest twist up in SoCal would be they would hate they people would hate SoCal Uncensored so hard, but when that fucking list would come out of the top wrestlers and the promotions and all the voting, people were right there voting for themselves. They were sure fucking trying to get that vote. I'm like,
You know what's funny? I don't.
huh.
A few years back, I publicly got mad at the list, and people were like, my haters like, "What do you think you should be there?" But it was like a lot of like PWG guys and stuff.
Mm,
So I said, look, 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 look. If you're gonna do this type of list, do one for locals at least, the local top 50. Do that.
Right.
I said, I don't care if I'm on it. Because shout out to the Black Wrestling 500. Hey,
Hey.
that's the one I love, bro. I was like, hey, that's the
Yeah.
cookout. That's the cookout list for us, you
He
know.
said that's a barbecue list, homie. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
And they made an extra, like they made a top 50, and then they made a top, and I was on the next list. I remember that day. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Just moral story. I know we had a lot of time. It's okay to. It's better than it was because the clicks, the drama, the politics. I think it's better than what it was around 2013 to about pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
It was messy, bro. It was messy.
Messy. It's I mean, it's still it's
Yeah.
I think every scene's gonna be messy. It just we talk about ours. We've been more public about our scene lately, and hopefully it mends some things. You know what I mean? Um,
But this, I think, even though Andrew went a little too hard, some conversations were had. Um,
yeah.
from what I've heard, and even with like even personal situations, you know, there was a point that me and Douglas James were pretty close, and there's pictures of us, everything, and you know, when he went left, when he went through his struggles and X, Y, Z, I was hurt once again. Cause I'm like, Doug, we're homies. He said, I'm just telling you shit so you can do better. You know, he said, I'm not saying you suck, but you can do better. And it's ways about going about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, you know, he had to go through his storm and his clouds. And like I said, this is all me and his information. So if where wants to take this and create some narrative and go high and low, and like, you know how SoCal do. Sean Black talked about Doug James. No, me and him. I told him I seen his progress. I seen him taking care of his stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not saying he. But what I'm saying, and then me and him had a conversation after the storm, after
Right.
what he went through. He getting you know, and we started talking again. We started being cool again. Now, if y'all, whatever y'all feel, whatever. But the moral of this story is it's okay for just conversation versus burials and backstabbing and because you know, and me, like I said, I'm gonna have lunch with him. We're gonna talk because, like I said, we used to be close and shit happened, a lot of shit,
Right.
you know. But we was like, hey man, you know, support, you know, let's meet up, have some lunch, and just talk.
But see, the problem with like some shit like that when it sucks because you're sitting there like like I know he had his problems and some people have their opinions, but it's like some of those people who have strong opinions about that, it's like they have public opinions to gain likes themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would you
Bruh.
like
And
you?
someone got crazy skeletons in their closet. Cause this stuff we all could, like I said, I'm zip. There's so much
And that's
stuff.
the, and
Oh.
that's the problem. And I don't even want to get into that. Like that's three drinks.
I deal with demons. I lost a relationship. You know, I lost a relationship through infidelity, through issues I didn't deal with good. I mean, I was supposed to get married, bro, but I don't go around blaming her, even though she said she was perfect. You know, but but you know, to fix an issue, you got to start with Michael Jackson said, "The man in the mirror." Because
the white version or the black version?
both. I love them all. He said it right here. You see his eyes? Reaching out.
Oh shit! Look at you.
Yeah. But you got to fix that first. And I got a therapist. Shout out to Black Mental Health. Shout out to mental health. Because there's a lot going on in the world. You see people just randomly, bro. I try to keep the news to keep up a little bit, but people walking down the street, going off, hitting kids, hitting random. Steve Buscemi got hit today.
I seen that shit,
Yeah.
man. Man, hey, me and Michael Rappaport are gonna team up and go fuck whoever did that up because they have the video of the dude who did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
fuck
what I'm
that
saying.
dude.
People before and last, I'm gonna end up because I want to take all the time up late. People, wrestlers, anybody watching. guys, girls, women, LGBTQ, this and that. Be careful with trolling and messing with people because you don't know what somebody's got going on. This ain't the era where men are be tough all the time and women be fatigue. No, both sexes is going through shit, depression, this schizophrenia. There's so much that you got going on. The homeless, the mental health. And when you bother people, you backstab them, you talk crap about them, you do X, Y, Z, all that. You don't know what a person is going through or dealing with. It don't matter your size. It don't matter, what gang you from. It don't matter. You wrestle this and that. Motherfuckers can walk around looking well and be hurting inside. So why can't we just be better people and help each other, bro? Or just do nice things, open the doors. I compliment people, like your shirt, this, that, and the third. Motherfucker, listen, not even to toot my own horn. I was so glad to tell Jinder Mahal, one of my favorite newer generation wrestlers is Jinder Mahal. People know me. And when I had my WWE tryout and I got to talk to him, I was telling him how he felt, how I felt about him just being a wrestler of color, this, that, and the third. Bro, he might not remember in case this comes up, but I'm going to tell him again. We were doing our blood work together, blood pressure, something. Yeah. And then I told him, I said, hey, look, I'm from around here. And I said, but you're one of my favorites. I said, I'm not marking out, but you're my favorites because you're a wrestler color, this, that, and the third. And I feel like you don't get as much. This bro said, thank you. What's your name? This, that, and the third. Thank you, this and that. He walked down the hall. I heard him say, I needed that. I heard him say that shit, bro. And then Ruben, Beef Candy, Toa, everybody. Because my trial match is Toa. After I rolled out the ring, he's one of the first persons to congratulate and critique me. Him, Michael Hayes, Natalia, Kurt Angle's son. What's his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Black. Yeah, they were all. And so I say that to say, wrestlers, I'm going to give you one last tip. Somebody think you suck? Okay. Go to training. Make you a WWE profile. Go hard in training. Make you a WWE profile. If you get a tryout match, those are the people you're supposed to listen to.
Listen to them.
Because after I got my tryout match, I'm like, who you tell me I suck? Natalia said I did good. Pat Buck said I did good.
These are people who make millions off of wrestling, and they said I was okay. So yeah, I'm okay.
Shayna Baszler gave me a hug. We get in front of the locker room, totally on it. Beef Candy, Ruben, they can all back up my story. Michael Bad with EWF. So I'm not lying to y'all. Ask them. But all those guys are good. It sucks that, Beef Candy got to be the nurses. I was so sad that Brock beat up. It was supposed to be me.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be me and Toa, but WWE experience good. My second WWE backstage experience. Yeah, man. I know this might be a long one, but I'm like I said, I'm just trying to give y'all the alternatives of just basically. I've talked to Daryl. I've talked to Triv. I've talked to people who were targeted. It's okay, Andrew. Andrew has his opinion, but everybody ain't for everybody, bro. But I'm not gonna tell people this guy sucks. Don't book him. This, that, unless they're like blatantly
California,
dirty, or dangerous or dirty,
or Mr. California.
Yeah. Just try to do better. Like you said, if anything, somebody could say, I done got in shape. You can't take that away from me.
No, man. I want to show you before we head out. I cannot pass this opportunity up to share a quick experience. So I'm going to just pop it up on the screen real quick. I'm going to just let you laugh about it real quick.
Now look, yeah.
What a great time.
Oh, man.
Bro, for anybody, I just wanted to just give you the reminder of what we do, man, for this business,
I'm going to close out with my thoughts on this. I'm going to give everybody
You still move for a big boy, bro.
but apparently I'm terrible. People don't want to book me. I'm the terrible guy. But look, check this out, y'all. Gus,
And that
like I said, sometimes you got to take turn what was it shit into sugar?
Why won't
Is that
this
the
turn
term?
off? There we go.
Is that the term? Shit into sugar? No,
Don't shit where you sleep.
no. You got to make some. Anyway, long story short,
Okay.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wrestling is so beautiful, bro. And Gus, a random show together. And of course, our haters was like, what did those guys do to pay dues when they saw who was on the flyer? You know, and this, that, and the third. Biagio was telling me, I was like, Biagio, your friends are fucking annoying. Oh, these new rookies just say anything.
Oh man.
Yeah, they said, you know, but if you are if you're a wrestling promoter, you can take. Let me tell you something. It was only how many guys went? I know you edited that second match. Whew.
um, we had. I brought up from San Diego 4, brought out 4 from LA, and then everyone was coming from Washington and Oakland. Uh, yeah,
I'm gonna just tell you.
anywhere but everywhere but where we were in.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you like this. Wrestling is such a beautiful experience. On the road and everything. I'm gonna speed this up. The fact that Gus got us all bus tickets, and we're with our boys. We're just having a good time on the bus. And then from there, it was like a secret mission. We got dropped off at what's that? Chico State. Us down, and we got they gave us a free motel room in the middle
For
of
as
nowhere.
long
I,
as
I
we
was, I
wanted.
was so nervous. I saw a lot of Trump flags. I was like, is this Klan country? You know. So not to say Trump, but just it looked like when
Oh
when
yeah, oh
people
yeah, straight up, straight
when
up.
people can ride on the back of trucks and not get a ticket or nothing,
That's when
you in a different part of California.
you in a different part of everywhere.
So we got there in the middle of the night, got our rooms, and I remember just a little whispers that this was going to be a big show, and then Gus got us the like a pre-party at their little town, their place. What's the real name? The trash. Their nickname was the Trash, but what was the full name?
I don't fucking remember. It was the white trash. They literally called it the white trash.
But they were really excited for us. The poster was there to be there,
Excited,
and then
excited.
the show came, and most of them came from the show. And then we went after, and bro, people rode on the back of a truck. They were standing. I'll never forget that, standing, and pulled up to the bar. And people were doing this. And then the fact that the dude cut his hair during the show, like Biggie.
Oh my god, this dude cut a fucking with the skullet. He
Yeah,
reshaped his head just like Biggie, and he's like, "Hell yeah, bro! Look."
yeah. And the turnout was fair. I mean, it was. I expected more, but we
Yeah,
all
we all did.
it was still a lot, you know. But just the fact that it was such an indie-rific ass event, bro. It was everything, and I think I was still my ex at the time, and the Black Bear Diner, and this is the stuff that I dreamed of as a kid. Random, you know. I always wanted to, like I said, everybody's dream is WWE and the crowds, this, that, and the third. But it's nothing more fun than arriving to like a random town, and you're like the hot shit. That's why I love D6W for, because that one time I was going to Vegas and I was with my girl, and I went to the Barstow Station McDonald's. Everybody know Barstow. That's where
Oh
you got.
yeah.
And 2 people ran up, Sean Black, Sean Black. I was like, they know you. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
And people was looking too, like, and they took a picture, and you know
Hey
that's
man, were you the one that got attacked at that show by Dylan?
which one?
The blue gum. You were attacked by the little kid Dylan.
Oh, the special needs who punched me in the stomach. This special needs kid, yeah. He liked me, but he didn't like me. But he was like kept like, yeah. And then
Ready to fuck you up, bro.
I went to shake his hand. He said, "Boom!" in the stomach.
Sean
But shout
Black.
out to special needs, Down syndrome, adult autism awareness. That is my day job. That is what I do. I'm a job coach for special needs, and
Nice.
then I do bouncing at night. So y'all see me down the avenue. What's up? Much love, much love.
Oh,
You
so
see me?
you're with special needs all day. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. I do
Nice.
job coaching, and then I take a break, and then I go to my
Adults.
bouncing job. Usually obviously weekends,
All right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then. But I'm gonna switch it up because Saturdays I wrestle more in the summer. So,
Nice.
but shout
You
out to
guys,
everybody.
you got before we wrap this up, you got things coming up for Amped Up? Anything like that coming up? Or are you just
You're
kind
the
of like
first, July 6th. Listen, wrestlers, I'm trying to do 2 more shows. Please, just let me. I will let you know. I pick. Everybody's gonna rotate, so don't blow me up. Just put me on the show. No, the first show was sort of made, but we got WrestleFest coming, and then I got something with hip hop artist, my buddy Young Invent. He's gonna do his show. It's gonna be a music event, and it's gonna be wrestling. So if I know you personally, there's gonna be room for everybody at every show. Just I got who's balancing. Because you get the bum rush. You've been there as a promoter. Put me on. I don't care what your card is. Put me on now.
Hey, but you know what though? Like the past couple shows I have booked, um, I do it secretly now. Like I'm like, hey, I got a show coming up, and here's the date, and I'll literally book the whole card within 20 minutes before anybody can start sending out the dates. Like, hey, yo, no, Gus got a date. Like, nope, show's already booked. I did this in 20 minutes, dog. I had
Yeah.
everybody lined up.
That's another thing. Yeah, wrestlers don't like I said, just get back to the show up and help. Because there's so many guys to believe me. You Gus a promoter, everybody promote, I hate the term promoters. I'm mainly doing it for my community. Big shout out Amped Up Inglewood. But
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I hate like I said, just being a wrestler. Bro, 20 minutes of short show time. Hey, I can't make it. Like, bro, you're like on first. And then here goes old boy who showed up. You got your gear? Yeah. It's that simple. Just help.
Just be there.
Commentary. This, that. You might do a run-in. There's been a point where 2 people backed out, and I've literally gave him, like, well, since 2 people backed out, I'm gonna give you both their envelopes. You know what I'm saying? That's my heart. That's how I am, bro. Like, 3 motherfuckers backed out. We had to put this match, we would have had to put a triple tag to like a 3-way now. Y'all break bread, spit everybody. Y'all split it. Good. The Bible says, "Good measure," as a verse. Good measure, pressed down, shake it together, can run it over. When you do good deeds for people, it comes back, bro.
And that's how we're gonna end that right there. Sean Black, it has been a pleasure. It's been an honor to talk to you for this past couple hours. I know me and you could talk forever.
Yeah, shout out to Big Nut up north. Yeah, appreciate you, Gus. Keep this going, bro. And I'll come back. Maybe, like I said, we can.
We'll nerd out.
Maybe go next one. I can show you some of my best and worst matches, and not
Let's
not
do it.
to
Let's
say
do it.
not to say the person was worse, but there's one I got to show you. Like I don't know where they found this guy.
You're talking about your evolution as a wrestler, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you, man. Let's do it, man.
Since I'm so terrible.
The Urban Juggernaut, Sean Black. I appreciate your time. Thank you for everything. My name is Gus. This is Mic'd Up with Gus. This was another great interview I had. Make sure you book this man. Make sure you check him out. He is one of the most humble dudes out in Southern California. He may not be to some people, but he is to fucking me. Sean Black, I love you, brother.
One love. Peace. Amped up.
Amped up, baby. Hey, FCW will come back one day, maybe, and we'll all join up and do some big ass show.
Let's do a big show. Y'all heard it first here.
Let's
big
do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sean Black, you have a good night, sir.
Peace.